An executive order that makes some big changes to the education department. Programs for special education and rehabilitative services will now fall under the Health and Human Services Department, and the Office of Civil Rights, which enforces anti-discrimination laws in schools, will move to the Justice Department. Advocates say the move would leave students and families without much needed services. The president argues it will improve efficiency without service changes.
Without service change is a damn lie. That's already what happens when you move things to another department, right? What happens during a reorg, right? Like in business, when a reorg happens. Oh shit, Miss McMahon.
Linda. We gonna hear what Linda got to say. Linda.
And don't forget to read this summer. That advice today from a 77-year-old grandmother. And by the way, that grandmother, Linda McMahon, is President Trump's Secretary of Education. Regina Mobley spoke to the cabinet member who's charged with dismantling the Department of Education. New at 5. Regina.
Well, Aisha, Linda McMahon, the billionaire former wrestling tycoon, has one assignment from the president. The Education Department shut it down. Tonight, how her latest proposal could affect children with special needs. Inside the Beltway, Senator Tim Kaine and others are sounding the alarm about a plan to shift special education functions to Health and Human Services and civil rights functions to the Department of Justice.
He treated the Department of Education like it was a going out of business sale of a discount furniture outlet.
Education Secretary Linda McMahon sat for a Zoom interview.
What types of checks and balances will you have in place to monitor how these two agencies, Justice Department and Health and Human Services?
Well, I really don't believe you're going to see any difference at all.
Dr. Cardell.
She just said, you ain't gonna see nothing at all. If we don't see a difference, that's concerning, because that means the education department wasn't doing it.
I mean, it wasn't doing shit. That's what that means.
At all. So that's what that's gonna mean. So we finna find out.
Patillo, chair of the Portsmouth School Board, provided a question for the interview. Next, a portion of the question and a portion of the answer.
And he writes, with a stretched Justice Department, how will they guarantee will they increase the staffing level of licensee educators and the department to bring ease to citizens?
Our Office of Civil Rights, they're going to continue to receive the complaints and have oversight into the actual control that will be shared with the Department of Justice.
Dr. Patillo wants details.
Again, I haven't seen the framework, but again, the main concern would be not the litigation standpoint of special education, but the provision of resources and support and the oversight of that.
Visibility.
Now, the Education Secretary even weighed in on the alleged racist remarks made by the Williamsburg, James City County Superintendent of Schools. He reportedly said, "Wouldn't you rather go to school with kids who look like you?" Secretary McMahon said, quote, "So there is going to be no toleration of any kind of comments like that, and we're going to make sure that everyone has equal opportunity education, and that's the presidential goal and certainly is mine." End of
separate but equal.
That's what he said. He said, wasn't it a good time back when they did their own what was that dance thing they used to do back in the day? American Bandstand. Back before
I do the
it
hop.
was separate.
I do the hop. Yeah.
They say, yeah, wasn't it a good time when they took their hot cone over there? And we ain't had to deal with all that over here, all that twerking from our white girls. They just
Jim Jones, get that damn hot comb out of here. All right. We only do feet pics.
So
I do the hop. Yeah.
So Department of Education used to handle all of education. They sent that to Health and Sciences, which means that now we're talking about special education being a science.
Health and Human Services.
Yeah, but like that now puts that from an educational category to and philosophical in ways to literal science. So now you're saying that kids who are in this category are
I don't know
science.
if RFK is.
But they're pushing them into science. So when you talk about science, don't that mean you have to run experiments to get your data? Now you can't use
you about to go for fucking what's that? X-Files around here.
It's not X-Files, because the thing is psychology is a science. So psychology is how kids with special needs are diagnosed, stuff like that. So I see where they're going with that. So behavioral science and mental health and all that is considered a science. However, like there's not a lot of them that work in like school systems these days. Like even I'm trying to think about even growing up. Did we have a school psychologist? I think like our school psychologist like traveled. Like so I'm just trying to understand like that. Like that guy, like the principal, the doctor said, he was like, listen, if this is going to help the kids, I'm all for it. But what's the framework? And how are they going to support these kids? Because we already know that these kids can't just sit in a regular classroom. So if you're going to take the science route, what are we going to do to make sure we have funding and support for those kids? That's basically what he's saying.
Well,
she didn't sound knowledgeable to me. Linda McMahon was just kind of like, sprinkle, hope you going to figure it out.
Yeah, because the thing is, I'm gonna tell you, and this is just the truth, and this just comes from my background of working in education for so long. They have survived off of parental lack of knowledge of what their resources are. Because if you don't know about it, you don't tap into it, which means that they keep it plentiful, which means that they don't have to service as many people that's needed. Now, what happens in this change, as she said, well, not much is going to change. I don't know what that means exactly. Because bottom line is what needs to change is the transparency of services, because that's the one thing it's like a big club that nobody knows about until you start fishing and being one of those parent advocates that ask a lot of questions. Luckily for me, because I work, in education, but I also had special needs kids, I actually was afforded that information from people who actually, knew what was going on. The first thing they said, hey man, you have any problems? Your son having problems with incontinence? You call them, man. They'll give you good nights for free. They'll send you, there's a budget for that. Your kid is a bag of money, and this is how much they make off your child. This is how much of the school benefits from having your special needs child. You get what I'm saying? So there's a lot of money allotted for these babies, but a lot of that money stays where it is if you don't know about it. So I'm hoping that this so-called move brings out more transparency.
Or just builds the bag in one spot, to be honest.
Right. Because and then actually really being seen, because to this day, none of us truly knows where all that money goes. I mean, Special Olympics got shut down due to not having any
crazy.
That's crazy. Well, all the I've volunteered for Special Olympics.
I have volunteered for Special Olympics.
I sold pizzas
for multiple years.
To fund transportation. We did pizzas. We did clothing drives. We did all kinds of stuff. But you telling me that, but the school districts countrywide get a ton of money for these babies that come in there to have to be serviced, but they don't get Special Olympics. They got to shut it down. Meanwhile, sports is still happening. Basketball is still happening.
Basketball still happening.
Track and field still happening. No lack
now
of
they got a pickleball team.
Oh my goodness.
Chess team still popping.
They got dudes volleyball teams now.
Wow. Gross.
Competitive.
Okay.
Gross is crazy.
So with this move, I just hope.
Look at that boy with the Daisy Dukes on.
They ain't wearing that. Stop playing with them. They ain't doing that. They ain't wearing that.
That's just my take, y'all. Hopefully this move brings more transparency, because what dude didn't say was, because the old framework showed this, and this. The only thing he look like he know about is a menu. I don't think he know anything about how it functions as a whole. I'm just being a honey. I'm gonna leave it at that.
My only concern on this is when you push into science, before kids could get IEPs and stuff through the school evaluating them, when you move it to science, that means that they're going to need diagnosis every time. So if that kid is not diagnosed with something, then they're not going to give funding. Y'all mark my
Right.
words.
They're
That's
just
what
gonna
that's
kick
what,
their ass out of school.
yeah, like that's like so
All
like you
kids
got
left
kids
behind.
that you got kids that just like they, you know, I don't know about all that. And they're trying to figure it out. But if you ain't got no diagnosis, they ain't gonna help you. That's what that means to me. Cause like when you go to science, I need data, baby. I need pure data for that. Period.
What's gonna happen is that it's gonna fall back on these parents who are dropping some, because a lot of the kids, you know, they have special needs, but they're not full on like Downs. You know, they're not autistic. A lot of them just have like anger issues, and you know, mama might have drank too much coffee during the pregnancy or something. They jittery now. Things like that, to where they can medication possibly could help, or just some extra monitoring.
Or maybe not. Like maybe just therapies, right?
That's what I'm
But
saying.
if it's in science, they ain't gonna want that. You gonna have to give me a diagnosis. Y'all, you know, maybe I'm wrong. But
oh no, that's gonna listen.
Here comes Joe. Here comes Joe. Shout out to Joe, one of the ODP originals.
You late, brother. You late. Where's your hall pass? No, but the thing is, no, they're gonna have a diagnosis. It's either gonna be they're Downs, they're autistic, or you know, they're ED.
Oh, they're gonna start
they're gonna be
concentrating the diagnosis.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Like that's what I mean. If you put it in science, you're gonna have to.
Yeah,
you
four types of autistic. This,
and
this,
and
this.
And there's pros and cons to that too. There's pros and cons to it. The pros is that these kids are definitely gonna have to get help because it's on paper that they need this assistance, right? The con is that everybody, they're already doing it now, but they're gonna try to race to get their kids diagnosed because they all want to get checks, and the transparency is gonna be there of what can be done as a result of this diagnosis and that diagnosis. Watch how fast people are running down there to apply to make sure they get good nights, and now this parent is selling the good nights and the wipes and all of that kind of stuff. They're gonna make a whole thing out of it. Watch and see.